Welcome to Chapter 6. Now in Chapter 6 we started talking about arrays. Now arrays are similar to lists. And technically a string is like an array. It's an array of characters. So if I had a string JOHN, J is in index 0, O is in index 1, H is in index 3, and N is in, H is in index 2, and N is in index 3. Always start at 0. So, in a way, that is an array. I like to compare it to, let's say, a train car. So, we've got a train that has different boxcars. And we define how long that train is at the onset when we declare our array. Now, what are we going to store in our boxcars? And they're memory locations, and we talked about that before, variables. So I could store words, numbers, I could store whatever I want in each one of those boxcars. And to access the data in that boxcar, I just need to know which car it's in sequentially. The first car is car 0, second car is car 1, third is car 2. Remember, we start at 0. So if I know the index that identifies where that car is, I can acquire whatever's in there. So with that said, if I know that I have 9 cars, that would be cars 0 through 8. And if I want to go look to see what's in each one of those cars, I can use a loop. And I start at 0 and I go till I've got index 8 and look and see what's in there. Now that's a one-dimensional array. We can have a two-dimensional array, and a two-dimensional array is kind of like, well, let's say an Excel spreadsheet. Now an Excel spreadsheet has height and width, columns and rows. Let's say that we have cell A1 in Excel. In a two-dimensional array in programming, it would be cell 0, 0. And what that means is row position, column position. If I move to the right, it would be 0, 1. Over to the right again, 0, 2. If I moved down, it would be 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2. And that's a two-dimensional array. It's an easy way to visualize things when we look at it, comparing it to a spreadsheet. And it's just ways for us to logically and in an organized manner store a lot of data using the same name or identifier. Okay? Putting it all in one variable, I'm just keeping track of it in a very efficient way. And these loops that we talked about in the last chapter help us to navigate and get in and out of these arrays. So we've talked about a one-dimensional array. That's like a train with train cars. A two-dimensional array is like a spreadsheet in Excel. A three-dimensional array is, the best visual I could come up with is a Rubik's Cube. It has height, width, and depth. Each one of those little squares in a Rubik's Cube is a different little storage location. That's a visual representation of it. Okay? So, if I have an array, and it's a one-dimensional array, and it is index of 0 to 8. There are 9 boxcars, if you will. And I want to search. I can go through that with a loop, start out at index 0, look to see what's in there, do a comparison. Is what's in index 0 equivalent to 5? If yes, do something. If no, let's go check the next, keep on going through our loop. Index 1, what's in there? Let's compare. Index 2, what's in there? Let's compare. Now, we'll deal with later on manipulating or sorting out an array. And what we'll have to do is have some secondary storage location to move things around, but we'll deal with it, and it's not too cumbersome. It's really not. So we'll get you there, and I'll see you in the next chapter. Don't forget, ask questions early and often.